And we're back with another solo travel vlog, this time coming to you from the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. I went to Pike Place Market because I was staying at Green Tortoise Hostel. Y'all know I'm a traveling remote social worker, so I love a good hostel with ample space in my room, which actually was a dorm that I had all to myself, a ton of space to do work, as well as a nice kitchen area, a free breakfast that was super chill, and tons of events to meet other travelers. So if you're looking for a social hostel to work remotely or traveling, this one I would recommend. I've been here for about a week. I've had a week off of work and my mom came down and we really just were like eating and sleeping and walking around as you do in Seattle. But she left this morning and it's Friday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I'm going to go out to a mocktail drink making class, like a mad scientist class. I found it on Airbnb experiences, of course, and so I thought it would be a really fun thing to do solo. And it had like the mad scientist theme, so apparently you like get a lab coat and everything. So I'm really excited to go to it. This is like my second to last city on this part of my US travels. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired, but we have a few more weeks of adventures before I head back to Milwaukee for at least a month, maybe a few weeks. We'll see what happens. So my cocktail mad scientist class was actually really fun. I've done a cocktail class if you watch my New Orleans solo travel vlog, but this one was different because we had like the mad scientist flair on it. I did find it on Airbnb experiences, which if you know me, you know that I love creating really fun itineraries for myself, which to me is the secret to a really great solo trip. I think a lot of people are apprehensive about solo trips because they're afraid they're going to get bored or lonely. But if you plan activities like this on Airbnb experiences, for example, you can definitely fill your time and meet people. They may not be your forever friends, but at least you get some social interaction. However, you may also book experiences and end up being the only person there, which is what happened with my hot chocolate class. I booked this kind of on a whim, just looking for something to do on a Sunday after brunch, and I wanted to make macaroons, and so that's what I did. It was a lot of fun. I've never made macaroons before. I have been to France, so I have eaten them before, but I never had to make them, and it is a process. So I learned a lot. The chef was really great and patient with me because, as you can see, I'm a beginner, and he did a really great job of showing me how to put the macaroons on there, how to make sure they're ready, how to make sure my cream in the middle was good. This was a great kitchen as well. It was super big, so we could make a ton of macaroons, and I got to keep all of them and I got to fill them myself, which was a lot of fun. I've never done a class just by myself, so it was cool to kind of have that personal touch with the chef and everything. So again, plan things for yourselves when you're traveling solo. You may be the only one, but there will always be an instructor there to kind of fill the time with you. Hi friends, so it's been a few days since I was exploring over the weekend here in Seattle. I took the macaroon class and had a ton of macaroons left over that I actually left in the hostel, and let's just say I think I am like the next great macaroon chef. Not really, but they did disappear relatively quickly, so I'm taking that as indication that they actually were pretty good. But I am winding down on my time here in Seattle and kind of the end of the first few months of this trip that I planned, which if you've been following along the whole time, I appreciate y'all, but I am kind of winding down and I'm kind of tired of all of the consistent traveling, but it has been really great. Seattle has been amazing. I really love the food scene here, so it makes it really easy. I don't feel pressed to go sightsee as much because a lot of the sightseeing, aside from like the Space Needle and the Ferris wheel and stuff, is really the food. And so I've been enjoying that and relaxing. I will say one of my favorite parts thus far has been the Pike Place Market. I love a good market. I went to the market in San Diego. It's more of a farmer's market. I grew up around farmers markets, and I feel like I love that is an attraction here, just the market itself, and supporting people who live here who are just out here trying to make a living like everybody else. I will say that I think Capitol Hill is like my favorite area because there is just so much incredible food all around there. So I love walking past and just walking around the city. It is a bit hillier than I anticipated. I don't know what I thought. Well, coming from the Midwest, any place is really hilly for us, but it's definitely a little hillier than I expected. Kind of reminds me of Pittsburgh a little bit. Not that hilly, but still, your calves are gonna get some work around here if you're walking around. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna go kick it, maybe go find a wine bar or something, get some drinks and whatnot, and I will see you all later. Bye. Speaking of a wine bar, let's talk about the food and drink scene in Seattle, which I mentioned I loved, and it was the main reason why I wanted to come to Seattle. My mom loves it. This was a place we went to. It was a Thai restaurant near the Space Needle that was delicious. Then we also went to Cafe Hagen for a nice skillet. It was probably the best skillet I had in a long time, and this was at Plum Bistro, which is a Black-owned vegan spot that was at Oddfellows. These were Carmelo's Tacos, so your girl ate. That was Baco Cafe, I believe, for brunch, and that was Portage Bay Cafe. So I definitely made my rounds around the city when it came to finding delicious food to eat. However, I will say my favorite spot was Communion. It is a Black-owned restaurant, and the food here was divine. I had this hood sushi with catfish. These were veggie fritters that were so flavorful, and the banana pudding to top it all off. I was in heaven. It was a really good solo date, as well as this sushi from a new sushi spot, and I have all these places listed in my travel guide on my website. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy all of my foodie adventures in Seattle. I definitely want to come back to do more of the outdoor things like hike Mount Rainier, but until then, I will see you all at my last and final stop in Portland. Stay curious.